Alright, what's going on, guys? So, a lot of you guys, for some reason, want to see, since I hit the 5th in Prestige, my final classes, my final combat record, and all that kind of stuff. So, I've been saying I've been doing it for a while, but I've just been too lazy to, I guess. So, here it is. My emblem's changed. I loved the Charmander emblem, but I just needed a change for once in a while. And got the my Enkyo Sharingan Naruto emblem going on here. Yes, I am very Asian. It's pretty legit in my opinion though, so whatever. Alright, combat records. So, 13 days played, 6 hours, 52 minutes, 37 seconds. It took me 10 days to get to the 15 prestige. So I've been 15 prestige for a while now. Win-loss ratio 2.20. I wish that was a little bit higher, but I don't normally play with parties. I tend to play with just either by myself or one other person. So, that's not too bad if you're playing by yourself, in my opinion. Alright. Kill death ratio 2.24, accuracy 20.77, favorite weapon being the M16, like it always is in Call of Duty, with 26.52 accuracy. If you guys have been following my progression videos, I tended to float around 2.32 kill death ratio, and the reason why that dropped so quickly is just because getting all the pro perks is a real bitch if you're not patient like I am, and you just throw your life out there for no apparent reason. So, which is probably what I'm gonna do for my next vid. I'm gonna be showing you guys the fastest way to get to all the pro perks, so you can kind of look forward to that. So yeah. Wow, it's some pretty bad games right there. The last one. Kill streak, spy plane, blackbird, chopper gunner, counter spy, care package, attack dogs. The bottom ones are pretty useless, such as the R60, Valkyrie rockets, mortar strike. The reason I don't use the gunship is just because it bores me so much just to go because I run 8-9-11 usually. It just really bores me to use 2 airplanes in a row or 2 gunships in a row. So I tend to stick with the dogs there just to keep up the action a bit. Contracts, a good way to level up quickly is just to make sure you buy lots of contracts. Usually there's about a 3,000 XP in each category. Sorry, in the second category every day, and it's pretty easy to get. Sometimes there's even like a 4,700 XP one. So if you want to level up quickly, contracts are a good way to go. Let's see here. Heat map. I shoot at the center mass usually and the groin, as you can see right there. Kill death ratio highest being with the stoner, the M60, the G11. Spaz is up there pretty high too. The more you use a weapon, usually the lower it gets, your kill death ratio gets. So that's why such as the FAMAS and the M16 are pretty low right there. And ballistic knives and the sniper rifles. Accuracy highest with the stakeout, Olympia. Usually the shotguns are pretty high. They're pretty high with the 3 burst assault rifles, such as the M16 and the G11 as well. Total kills, I have the most kills with FAMAS. The FAMAS is undoubtedly the best universal and best gun in this game. Can be used in almost every situation. Really the only thing that the 74U has that on it is it's better at close range. But like I said, it's more of a universal weapon. But like I said, I use the M16 more. Your favorite weapon is the weapon that you have the most time used with. It's not your total kills. And as you can see, I lean pretty heavily with the assault rifles, and then after the first 4, it's the 2 submachine guns that I like the best. The only reason the commando isn't higher than it is just because it's unlocked so late. But if I were to do this video in a couple months, it will be a lot higher. I've been actually using that gun a lot. I like it a lot. Total deaths using, like I said, the more you use a weapon, the more times you die with it. So that's it right there. Nothing too spectacular. Headshots, highest with the M16, second to the FAMAS, makes sense. You use it more often, you get more headshots. Total times killed by the 74U and the FAMAS, the Galil and the Commando. Surprisingly, the MP5K is, what am I doing? Where was that? The MP5K is pretty low on that map, but yeah. So, most times killed by panic knifers, as you can see, frag grenades, Semtexes, claymores. Most grenades, most equipment used. Sorry, I lean on the grenades a lot, just because the grenades versus the Semtex, you can throw a Semtex farther in this game as well. They're better for placement grenades on domination points, so they're more universal. And the concussion grenades will eventually be surpassed by the flashbangs. I've been changed after the stun versus flashbang video that I did. I switched over all my classics except for one to a flashbang, just because I find they're more universal so long as you can just get the timing right. Motion sense is up there as well, but I've been actually using the jammer a lot as well. Especially for domination, preventing people tend to not move into areas where there are jammers, so you can kind of keep them off flags temporarily. And other than that, I can see I don't use decoys or camera spikes. Let's see here. I think that's basically it for everything that you guys need to see for here. So let's get into the classes. So like when I started playing online games, I was a Halo guy to start, and if you ask most Halo guys, they like their 3-burst assault rifles because it's kind of like the battle rifle. And the M16 has always, Mewtwo is the strongest Pokemon, so that's why it's in the first class. I use it with the red dot sight just because the iron sights suck. Sleight of hand, flashbangs, jammer. The only reason jammer was on it, usually it's Claymore, is just because I was playing domination with it. AUG. Charizard class, just as a Modern Warfare 2, is my favorite fully automatic assault rifle. This class would be for the FAMAS, but you've seen enough FAMAS gameplay. It's kind of overdone just because it is the best weapon in this game. So I just switched it off for an AUG, so it's a little bit more variety for you. It has a high fire rate, 937.5, which is why you need the dual mags for the extra ammo. If you're not running dual mags, then you need to go with scavenger because you're going to burn out of ammo really quickly, especially if you're a person like me who usually runs high in kill streaks, such as 8, 9, 11. Snorlax class is a class with a silencer on it, and the iron sights and the Galil are a lot better than they are in the Commando, which is why this is my silent class. Usually I don't use silencers in this game. Very rarely, if you watch my gameplays, I run a silencer. So yeah, and once again, since I'm not using dual mags, I'm using Scavenger Pro. The Commando class, this is a Garchomp class because it's a class with bite. This class is something that I use for maps with a lot of places for people to hide behind, such as Nuketown, as well as Firing Range, which is why you have the Hardened Pro. And once again, because I'm not using dual mags, I'm using Scavenger Pro and Jammer and Marathon Pro just because I like to move around a lot and move around quickly. And with the Commando, it's kind of hit or miss with me. It really depends on the night on what attachment that I'm using. Sometimes I can use the iron sights perfectly fine. Sometimes it's all over the place. I can use the silencer on it usually, but more often than not, I use it with a red dot sight, especially if you're moving around really quickly. So that is that. My Jolteon class either has Ninja Pro or Marathon on it. Doesn't really matter, but it's my go-to class with a submachine gun, just because you need to be mobile and Jolteons are fast. Rapid fire, that's the best attachment for it, I find. There's the only difference between this gun and a 74U is that the 74U has better iron sights and more manageable recoil. So if you can manage the iron sights and the recoil, it's the exact same gun as the 74U. Stat-wise, that is. And you also notice with all these classes, like I said, they have flashbangs and they have Strela missiles. The reason why people are kind of frustrated in this game with all the air support being shot down so quickly is just because in Modern Warfare 2 you had your shotgun secondaries, your Akimbo, M93 Rafficas. The secondaries were just a lot better in that game, so people didn't like carrying stingers around. Your AA-12s with extended mags. I hated that gun. Anyways, so which is why you'll notice that people getting frustrated this game with the air support going down so quickly. There's really no reason not to run Strela. The secondaries suck in this game, just pistols. So yeah, as well, kill streaks are hard to get, which is why another reason why people are getting frustrated. And speaking of anti-air classes, Gengar, my Gengar class is the class that I use to shoot down air support. You don't show up on radar with Ghost Pro from all the chopper gunners and stuff. And if you're using an anti-air class, then so you need sleight of hand. Just reload between those two Strelas really quickly. Alright, FAMAS with the silencer. You want to have a good weapon that you can rely on after you shoot down that air support. So nothing gets better than that. Alright, the next two classes are tryhard classes when I run into pretty strong teams. The first one is designed for smaller maps such as Summit. They have a flak jacket, steady aim, and tactical mask. And with the flashbang, once again with Strela, AK-74U with rapid fire. Submachine guns are good for small maps, and the reason why you want TAC Mask Pro, especially with flashbangs, is that you get an indicator when you throw the flashbangs. As well, with smaller maps, you tend to find people throw a lot of their equipment really quickly onto the objective points to kind of keep people off of them. So Tactical Mask Pro almost completely negates getting hit by a flashbang or stun grenade or a concussion grenade. So small map class for objective-based play. Next one is for a large map for objective-based play, which is why you have a FAMAS with the red dot sight. If you're playing a strong team, you're not going to be able to run those high-end kill streaks, so you want to just make sure that you can kill as much as quickly as possible, and which is why if you watch any game battles or competitive teams, it's always a FAMAS with the red dot sight. There's no point of having extra ammo, because if you're playing a strong team, they're not going to let you get to that 8th kill streak, so there's really no point of having extra ammo. Once again, has a flak jacket, sleight of hand, and this time, because it's a large map, Marathon Pro, large map making tactical insertions a pretty good option, as well as Willy Pete's, just so you can throw smoke onto those objectives, which is why it's called a wheezing class. If you see my Willy Pete versus Novagas video, I explained why I use that. Alright, Venusaur class is my shotgun class. I absolutely love the Spaz 12 in this game. Typical class, Marathon Pro to get closer to enemies, Steady and Pro. The only thing you have to really worry about is just making sure you find good spots to reload. And the reason why you want a concussion grenade here opposed to a flash grenades, unlike all the other classes, is that unlike the flash grenade doesn't slow down people. So with the stun grenade, if you see someone far ahead of you, you can throw it, catch up to them using Marathon Pro, and just finish them off. And in this class, doesn't have Estrella, just because if you see someone out of range as well, if you're out of concussion grenades, you can pick them off with your pistol. And the reason why I burped there. The reason why I use extended mags here is because there's really no difference between I don't know, the upgraded hindsights don't do that good, and the reason I don't dual wield them, dual wield CZ75s are really good for a sniper class, but if you're up close to someone and you have a shotgun, it's 1,000 times better than having a Kimbo pistol. So that's why I just go with the extended mags here. And I also have a slow trigger finger, so it kind of helps in that. Alright, last class is the Ditto class. This is the class that changes all the time, which is why it's called the Ditto class. Right now it has a stoner with a red dot sight. I don't like the iron sights on the stoner. Sleight of hand. You can't run dual mags with a stoner, so you need Scavenger Pro. This thing fires as quickly as the FAMAS and the AUG at 937.5 rounds per minute. And without dual mags, you're gonna be reloading all the time, and you're gonna burn through ammo really quickly. So that is that. And the reason why you need to have Ninja Pro on a LMG class is just because if you're using an LMG, you're gonna be running slower, so you're gonna be very immobile. So Ninja Pro is there to keep you silent, and you shouldn't be running around anyways. So yeah, that was a mouthful right there. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. That is my combat record. This is probably the last one that I'm gonna be doing, because my classes are not going to change that much from here, and most likely my stats aren't going to change a lot. So yeah, that is basically it. So thank you guys for watching. The next video you can kind of look forward to is a video where I show you guys the easiest route to get all the pro perks, just because I've done it, and I can show you guys the easiest way you can do it without sacrificing your KD too much. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.